Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving right into something I like to call the great math translation. You know, we usually think of math as just being about numbers, not languages. But actually, math has these different dialects built right into it. So today we're going to learn how to translate seamlessly between three of the absolute most common ones: fractions, percentages, and decimals.
So, let's kick things off with a little question. Think about the numbers 1/2, 50%, and 0.5. If you put them in a lineup, they look totally different, right? I mean, one's got a slash, one's got a percent sign, and one has a decimal point. You might honestly think they represent completely different things. But here's the secret. These three numbers are actually the exact same thing, just wearing different disguises. And our mission today? We're going to unmask them.
All right, section 1. What exactly is a fraction?
To really get to the bottom of these mathematical disguises, we got to start at the very beginning. At its absolute core, a fraction is incredibly simple. It basically just shows a part of a whole. Picture this: you've got a massive pizza, but you only want a piece of it. To describe that piece mathematically, we use a fraction. It's just our handy little way of representing a fragment of a whole object, or a whole group.
Now, to truly get how fractions work, we need to look at their anatomy. A fraction is made up of two distinct parts stacked right on top of each other. First up, we've got the numerator. That's the top number. You can think of this as the how many number. It tells you exactly how many slices of that pizza you are literally holding in your hand.
And right below that, separated by a little line, is the denominator. That's the bottom number. The denominator tells you how many equal parts make up the total, complete whole. So let's say you have the fraction 3/4. The 3 is our numerator, meaning we have 3 parts. And the 4 is our denominator, meaning the whole thing was originally sliced into 4 equal parts.
Let's go ahead and lock this in visually. If you take a whole shape and divide it perfectly into 4 equal parts, and just one of those parts is highlighted, well, you've got the perfect visual representation of 1/4 or 1/4, literally just one part out of 4 total parts. Simple as that.
Now, what if a circle is sliced straight down the middle into 2 equal parts, and exactly one of those parts is highlighted? Well, then we have 1/2. You've got your one piece, and it would take 2 of those exact pieces to make up the complete whole. It's perfectly balanced.
But we can step it up a bit too, and stack multiple parts together. So if a whole is divided into 4 parts, and 3 of them are highlighted, we're looking at 3/4. We're almost filling the entire thing, just one little piece shy. So, the numerator, 3, is what we have, and the denominator, 4, is the total possible parts.
Moving right along to section 2, the power of percentages.
Okay, so fractions are fantastic for slicing up pizzas or cakes, but what about the real world? You know, shopping discounts, phone battery life, test scores? That brings us to percentages. And I'll let you in on a secret. The undeniable key to understanding percentages is one foundational magic number, and that number is 100. If you can just remember the number 100, I promise you will never be confused by a percentage ever again.
So why is 100 such a big deal? Well, because the word percentage literally translates to out of 100. That famous little percent sign we see everywhere, it's basically just a mathematical shortcut symbol. Every single time you see it, your brain should automatically just read the words out of 100 equal parts.
And this connects directly back to those fractions we just talked about. Take 25%, for example. Based on our new rule, 25% means 25 out of 100, which we can just write as the fraction 25 over 100. And if you simplify that fraction, by grouping those tiny little pieces into larger chunks, it simplifies perfectly to 1/4. So 25% is quite literally just the percentage translation of 1/4.
Let's do another one just to prove this rule is constant. 50% translates in our heads to 50 out of 100, where the fraction 50 over 100. Now, 50 is exactly half of 100, which means this simplifies effortlessly to 1/2. See? 1/2 and 50% are the exact same mathematical reality. We're just speaking different dialects.
All right, up next is section 3, decimals into percentages.
We've mastered fractions, we've totally cracked the code on percentages. Now it's time for our third disguise, decimals. And honestly, converting a decimal into a percentage is wonderfully straightforward. It's basically a foolproof 3-step recipe. Step 1, take your decimal number. Step 2, multiply that number by 100. And step 3, just write the percent sign at the end. That's it. Decimal multiplied by 100 equals your percentage.
Let's try it out. Take the decimal 0.5. We just apply our new rule. Step 1, we've got 0.5. Step 2, we multiply it by 100, which gives us 50. Step 3, we pop that percent sign on the end, and flawlessly, 0.5 becomes 50%.
Let's build up your confidence with another example. What about 0.25? We just run it right through the exact same machine. 0.25 multiplied by 100 just shifts that decimal point over 2 spots, giving us 25. Add the symbol and boom, we easily transform 0.25 right into 25%. And just to complete the pattern and really prove how reliable this cheat code is, let's look at 0.75. Multiply it by 100 and it magically becomes 75%. Our rule holds completely strong. You, my friend, are now officially translating from decimal to percentage like an absolute pro.
Which brings us to section 4, the big math connection.
We have laid the groundwork, and now it is time to bring all 3 of these languages together into one ultimate translation matrix. Just think about the connections here. 1/2 as a fraction is 0.5 as a decimal, which is 50% as a percentage. 1/4 translates to 0.25, which is exactly 25%. And 3/4 is 0.75, which is 75%. This right here, this is the big aha moment. Whether you're dealing with a part of a whole, a decimal point, or a value out of 100, these are literally just 3 interconnected ways of saying the exact same thing.
So we started all of this by asking if these numbers were rivals or best friends. And honestly, I think it's safe to say they're more like mathematically identical triplets, just wearing different disguises depending on what the situation calls for. But it definitely leaves us with an exciting thought to end on. If fractions, decimals, and percentages are all secretly connected in this beautiful, highly logical way, well, what other incredible math secrets are hiding right in plain sight, just waiting for you to unmask them? Keep that curiosity alive, keep looking for those underlying connections, and I'll see you in the next explainer.